Hey everyone, real quick, if you're thinking of building a website or want to use WordPress or want to have your own custom email address, consider using Bluehost. Bluehost is an internet server that we use. It's very flexible, it's inexpensive. If you don't want to have a Gmail account, you want to have your own private email, you want to create a couple of websites, I found Bluehost to be really easy, and we use them for GardenFork. Also, we have a special deal with Bluehost. If you want to find out more information and get a low rate, it's gardenfork.tv/Bluehost. Gardenfork.tv/Bluehost. That'll take you to the Bluehost site with a special pricing deal for GardenFork viewers. All right? Hey everyone, welcome to GardenFork Radio. You're here with your host, Eric. Rick is traveling right now, and there's no one else around to talk to, so you're stuck with me. Fun. I thought this would be a viewer mail show. We got some really nice comments. I think it's really cool that people listen to the audio podcast, and then they come back to the site and leave comments and questions and stuff, which is kind of cool. By the way, we just did a redesign. We're in the process of doing a redesign of the website. We're using the Genesis WordPress framework and theme. There'll be links in the show notes here to that information. I'm also building writing some how-to posts about how I make GardenFork. And actually, someone asked on the YouTube channel, what kind of camera do you use to shoot the videos? And so I'm actually going to write that later today, and I'll link to it. I use Canon cameras, but there are specific reasons for all that, and we can talk about that in another podcast episode as well. All right. Last week, I talked with Rich G from the Rich G Group, our executive business coach friend, who I meet in the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot from time to time. And he had just built a standing desk out of IKEA parts. And Andre asked, do you have a link to the plans for the standing desk? And sorry, we don't. Rich sent a photo that we published, and maybe I can ask Rich if he could list out the different IKEA products that he used to build it. Actually, in the future, in the very near future, is at least one standing desk coming out of the GardenFork DIY video show. I've been looking at IKEA stuff and thinking of how to build one, and there's also one that I was thinking about building out of plywood because not everyone has an IKEA store near them. So just some thoughts there. So sorry. I'll ask Rich if he would send us a list of the items that he bought. And then you basically have to go through the IKEA catalog and take legs from here and a countertop from there and maybe the top of a desk from here and build it. And what is key is it's your individual height that matters. And the keyboard, ideally, from what I've read, is slightly below the height of your elbows. So you measure from the floor to your elbows and drop it like an inch or so. And that should be the height of the computer keypad area. And then the monitor would be higher up. So just some thoughts there. Vana came to the site. Vana has a comment here, and she says, I never miss a podcast. I love what to hear is going on in your worlds. I feel like I get a behind-the-scenes pass. I'd like Rick to tell us more about how to use Siri for reminders and find out how Eric solves his won't get lost or forgotten. Solves his problem with listen tasks. I still have that problem. I was trying to clean my desk just before we recorded this, and I'm left with a small pile that I don't know what to do with. I also have the same problem. There's a never good place to make a list that won't get lost or forgotten. There you go. I thought that I would try to use Evernote. I downloaded it and now have to find the time to learn the program. It's still unused. You're not alone. I could use some help as well. Thanks, and keep up the good work. That's from Vana. Evernote is really easy. Evernote is kind of like a word processing program. It's like Microsoft Word. You literally open it up and you go new note and you just start typing. And you can either keep all your notes just in Evernote, or you can create basically categories or folders. They're called notebooks in Evernote. But essentially it's a folder. And if you want to keep all your recipes in one place, you can keep it in your recipe folder. And then your to-do list, keep in your to-do folder. And what I like about Evernote is it saves it locally to your computer, but it also saves it in what they call the cloud. In other words, an internet server that Evernote maintains. And then you can pull up this same Evernote information that you have on your smartphone or on your tablet or on another computer, a laptop. So the cool thing is, oh, I'm not in front of my computer, I don't have those notes. Well, if you're at your friend's house, you could just go into the Evernote website, log in with your login information, and bring up your folders and files. So it's like a word processing program that you can use anywhere, kind of like Google Docs in a way. But I just like Evernote better, and it can get much more fancy than that. You can save links, whole web pages. You can save images from websites. What I also do is I scan in drawings and notes and recipes, and it saves it into Evernote. And so you can access those images or those scans from wherever you are in the world, basically. You can bring it up on your phone. You can bring it up on a laptop. So there you go. A little plug for Evernote there. Rick is very deep into it. And you can make it put a lot of bells and whistles, or you can make it really simple. And of course, I'm all about simple. So Scott wrote in, and again, talking about our talk with Rich G, we were talking about lawnmowers, and he said, regarding the lawnmower, you could go one step further and get a reel lawnmower, REEL lawnmower. That's a push lawnmower. He says, I got the Fiskars Stay Sharp this spring and love it. It's cheaper, $200 Canadian, takes no fuel and nearly no maintenance. Even on tall grass, it does well, but always gives a nice cut. Takes more time and effort, but I love it. So there you go. Yeah, people power for a push mower. I've tried a number of people's push mowers, and I think that's just the push mower, the reel mower, push reel mower were poorly designed. So I'm thinking the Fiskars company, they make scissors for a living. They probably make a good one. So interesting. We recently have a show about how to make the ultimate stovetop pizza, or I think the best ever stovetop pizza. It's really kind of turned out really well. And Tanya wrote in and said, Gordon Ramsay, who's a big deal chef on television, does this with traditional pizza dough, cooking it on the stovetop and then under the broiler to brown it a little. I use a large nonstick skillet and it works pretty well. I'll try the flour tortillas though. Nice shortcut. Yeah, you can use pizza dough. But my thought was with this is that a lot of times I want to make pizza and I'm like, oh, I should have made the dough yesterday, and put it in the fridge overnight. So there you go. Just a little thought there. And then we have a note from Jim, who it's always good to hear from Jim. And he says, why the separate cooking and DIY shows on YouTube? I prefer the DIY, but I like to look at some of the cooking thing. Separate is like a divorce. Long story short, on YouTube, I've found that the more narrow the programming, the more successful it is. And there are people that like to watch the Garden Fork do-it-yourself videos, and then there's people that like to watch the Garden Fork cooking videos, and then there's a crossover. This is like a Venn diagram with the circles. Then there's a group that likes both. But the problem is that YouTube and Google rank with their search algorithms your video by how many subscribers you have versus how many people watched it. And on the Garden Fork main channel, which is now the cooking channel, we have 45,000 subscribers. Very few of those people actually watch the cooking shows. So a lot of people have subscribed for one reason or another because they liked a particular video, and then they're getting just cooking shows or just DIY. So I split the channel. We're growing the DIY channel now. There's like 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is great. And that's how I'm going to do it in the future. Also, the revenue from YouTube goes up because of that. And so I need to make a living. So that's why I did it as well. On iTunes, to address Maddie, I owe you an email, Maddie, by the way. Maddie's concern, for right now, the DIY and cooking are going to remain on the same iTunes show. It just is a little easier there. On iTunes, there's really no way. They don't penalize that. So I know it has to go deep into analytics and things like that. And I'm being a little blurry. So sorry about that. But anyway, just wanted to do a quick little viewer mail show here and touch base with everybody. We are rolling out some new how-to videos on the site if you'd like to go and see the new design. It's kind of a work in progress, but for you WordPress people and website people, the site loads much faster now. And I like Genesis themes are tuned to do that. And it's just out of the box, they work very well. And we have a link to, if you want to buy those themes, it'll be on the site as well there. All right. So always good to hear from you guys, especially putting comments on the site. That's really cool. And I'm saying a lot. So go out and do cool stuff and come back and tell me about it. All right. Make it a great day. I'll see you. Just a quick reminder, if you're interested in building your own website, it is gardenfork.tv/Bluehost. All right. Make it a great day. Garden Fork's theme music is used under license from uniquetracks.com.